collective energy readings for spring equinox. And spring is just around the corner. So I am really excited to dive right in. So, what to expect for the collective energy reading? I will be sharing a general message. And with that message, I will be pulling some cards, which I have right here. I'm shuffling to go over the overall themes for the upcoming season of spring. Spring is really important to me. It's what I consider to be the real new year, nature's new year. And so I feel like this is a great time for growth, for change, and to start new things. And so if there's something that you are wanting to manifest, something that you're wanting to stop doing, right? Like what are you tired of experiencing? Okay, because like that's a thing. What are you noticing when it comes to patterns and habits that are no longer really serving like who you want to become and the direction that you're wanting to take in life, right? So whatever stage of life that you're in, what is kind of in the way, right? So that's an opportunity as well. Why is that? It's because the things that you're wanting to bring in, they can't, you can try to plant the seeds and you can do that, but how it grows is going to be dependent on how you are nurturing that soil, right? How are you nurturing it? And that's the stuff that's anything that you haven't like worked through, it can show up in how that thing that you're wanting to bring into your life or that you're wanting to grow or nurture, like it's gonna play a role in how that shows up for you. So you might not experience things as fast or as quickly as you would like, or they show up but just not in the way that you expected, right? So those are some of the things just to kind of keep in mind when it comes to the direction that you're wanting to take. I consider every season to be a season of opportunity. So what is this season of spring 2023? What is the opportunity that you're wanting to focus on? Just think about that for a minute. What is one thing that you're wanting to focus on? What one opportunity? And that opportunity doesn't have to be external. It doesn't have to be based on what other people can do for you. And this doesn't matter what area of your life, if it's career, if it's personal relationships, if it's money, if it's your spiritual growth, if it's health and fitness, maybe it's your own personal development, right? Wherever it is, maybe the opportunity is for you to love yourself more. Maybe that's what you want that opportunity to be. Maybe the opportunity is just wanting more time to yourself, wanting more rest. That could be an opportunity as well. So something to think about. So how I break down the collective energy reading is I pull a card for the overall theme of the season of spring 2023. And then I'm going to pull a card for the beginning of spring, the middle of spring, and the end of spring. So you get a total of 4 cards, and that'll be the general message. I'll work through some of those points. And then after that, I'm going to do some individual readings. And I already have the name selected for those readings. And if you are not on my email list, then definitely do that, because every once in a while, I don't email often now, but when I do, every once in a while, I prioritize the people on my email list whenever I'm doing a collective reading or whenever I'm in the mood to do just some readings, some public readings. I prioritize the people on my email list and I send out an email. And so if you are wanting that opportunity for the next time I do that, then definitely click the link at whatever platform that you're watching me on right now. And you should see on my link tree, the link to my email list. So greetings, everyone. No, you're not late. Hello, my Virgo brother. Greetings, everyone. All right, so we are getting ready to start. All right, overall theme, how to get ready for spring. Let's see here. do we got here? Ooh, come through. Y'all see that? Nine of Pentacles. So if you're not familiar with tarot, the pentacles represent, so I'm multi-streaming right now, so I'm like making sure everybody can see. So the Nine of Pentacles represent material things, money, right? Also, how you, like other aspects of, so it's not always just money, but what about your time, right? That's something that you exchange, right? That's a form of exchange. Your emotions are a form of exchange. So it's not always just about money, right? But this is about work ethic is the word that's coming up, is the overall theme. It is time to put in work. If you've been bullshitting in the wintertime, flashback to my, if you caught my, if you caught my winter collective readings for winter solstice, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. Then this is the time to start to focus on your work ethic. And work ethic does not always have to be career related. It's about the work that you are choosing to put into whatever the thing is. Okay? This applies to any area of your life. What is your work ethic? And it's not about how you show up for other people. No. It's easy to show up for other people. I've done many videos about that. It is so easy to show up for other people when you have somebody else to hold you accountable. When somebody else is cutting the check, when somebody else is depending on you. But what is your work ethic when it comes to working on yourself? What is your work ethic when nobody else is around? Are you willing to put that same energy into other people? Are you willing to put that into yourself? Because this is what can happen. This is the theme of, this is about, look at this card. Growth. What was I just talking about? The overall essence of spring. It's nature's new year. It's the real new year. This is when things begin, right? Entering into Aries, that's the first zodiac sign. If you want to know why I celebrate the new year in the spring, then check out, I have a link to my podcast episode about that. And that's in the description of wherever you're watching as well, okay? But this is about the work that you're choosing to put in. And keep in mind, whatever work you put in or lack thereof last spring, whatever that was, that might start showing up this time around. So just think about that as well. If things start to show up that you weren't expecting, or things that you wanted to experience, that could be showing up from whatever you were putting in, whatever you were planting last spring. But now's the time to either add to or build up the momentum for what's already going well, or it's time to till the soil is what's coming up. Change how the intention behind the work that you're putting in is what I'm clearly hearing. What is the intention behind the work? Because you don't want your work ethic to be this place of feeling forced to do a thing. Oh, I have to do this. What are you choosing to do? And what are the results from that thing? We all have responsibilities. There's always going to be things that we don't want to do and that we'd rather not do, but it's time to also change the perspective around it. Oh, I don't want to go to this job, but I'm going to this job because this is going to generate some income for me. And with that income, I can do these other things that I want to do. You see how we're just kind of changing the perspective and the intention behind the work ethic. Or, oh, I want to get more sleep, but I'm up talking to whoever about their problems and I'm focusing on their problems and not focusing on my own. I'm spending all this time. I know y'all know what I'm talking about, right? It's just it's time to put up some boundaries and go within and focus on yourself, if that's where you're at. I'm just sharing some examples of what this intention behind the work that you're putting in, what that could look like. So I hope those examples are helpful. That is the overall theme, 9 of Pentacles, work ethic, intention behind the work that you're putting in, more so what you're doing behind the scenes when nobody's watching, not the work that you're putting externally, right? So that's the main theme for spring. So I'm going to pull a card for the beginning of spring. Are there any Aries up in here? Who has a birthday coming up? All right. Anybody have plans for, is there like for spring, any traveling happening? Is spring your favorite season? Do you hate spring? What's your vibe? All right. Early spring, early spring, early spring. Listen. It's the money for me. It's the work for me. We went from 9 of Pentacles, and I know y'all saw me shuffling this deck. Y'all saw me shuffling the deck, okay? We went from 9 of Pentacles for overall theme to the early part of spring, 8 of Pentacles. The first thing that pops up is we have a sequential order. 9, 8, 9, 8. So 9 being the overall theme, right? Overall theme, general focus of work ethic. Early spring is talking about, okay, let's refine this a bit more, right? Because we're going from 9 to 8. Let's refine this a bit more. 8 of Pentacles is about enjoying what you do. And I was just talking about that. What's the intention behind the thing? And the work that you're wanting to put in for yourself. So the connection here for the first part of spring is, what is it that you actually enjoy doing? Do you even know what fun is anymore? Do you know how to enjoy the things that you do? Are you finding ways to experience that? Right? What are you passionate about? What are you naturally good at? What do you keep putting off to the side because you don't have time, because you're focusing on other things? This is a great time, this first part of spring, to start taking some time, even if it's once a month. Now, if you're familiar with me at all, I'm all about practical application. Make it realistic for your life and your schedule, right? I'm not talking about getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and doing all the stuff. You might have kids, you work late, whatever, right? Make it work for you, based off what feels good for you, not what somebody else tells you to do, right? Just know that it's possible. It is possible for you to create space for yourself to do something that you enjoy. And if you don't know what that is yet, this is an opportunity for you to explore that. Because here's the thing, is it me? Is it me, right? But when you get as you get older, right, sometimes we have these responsibilities, we have all these things that get in the way and these things that we're doing, and then we kind of lose ourselves. And we forget that there are things that we love to create or that we like to do and we enjoy it, but we keep just pushing that off, because we're so busy with our responsibilities or the things that we feel like we should do consciously or unconsciously because we're adults. Like, what is that? Can we change that? Because I am not with it. Not with it. Okay. And another thing that's coming up for this first part of spring is your natural talent, natural ability. There are things that come easy to you, things that you wouldn't even consider to be something that you're good at because you don't even think about it, but you can do it all day. What is that thing? What is something that you can easily do all day? It comes natural to you. You enjoy it. What is that thing? Some of you know exactly what it is. That's what you should be doing. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what you should be creating space for. Sometimes it's learning how to find the joy. Learning, let me say that again, learning how to find the joy and the ease. Does that, like, are y'all picking up what I'm putting down there? We have to retrain ourselves. Pentacles is an earth, represents earth, right? So very earthy energy. So we are this early part of spring. You know, we're in that fire sign, that fire energy of Aries, but then we're also having all this earth energy with the overall thing. So we're bringing fire and earth, and those two work very well together. So just keep that in mind. Do you even know what joy and ease is right now? Like, who is she? Who is he? We don't know them around here. It's time to be friends with joy and ease. Yes. Okay. So that is the first part of spring. Let's go into the middle of spring, middle of spring. Oh, I was gonna be like, do we have a jumper? Do we have a jumper? Let's see. So, you know, one of the things that I really enjoy about doing this, right? These collective readings is it can apply to any area of your life. You can take what's coming up, and the part that resonates with you, that's for you. That's what you take, that's what you use. That's what you apply, right? How are you going to apply it? It's not just about listening. It's like, oh, okay, that's a good idea, and then not doing anything. No, like take that energy, take that idea, take that thought, and transmute it into your life. What's your one thing? What's your one thing? All right, middle of spring. We have the Six of Cups. So this is interesting. So now we're bringing in the element of water. So we have all this earth energy, all this from Pentacles, and Cups represents water, the element of water, and emotions. And it's so interesting because going from, you know, this find the joy and ease, one of the things that's coming up is flow. And like you can start a thing and then feelings start to get in the way. Then it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do this as much anymore. Or sometimes it's interacting with other people. And the question here is, and let me know if you've experienced this, okay? Let me know. You can put some, like, drop something in the chat or whatever if you've experienced this, where you start getting into your flow. You get into a zone. You are finding your rhythm. You are doing all the things like you were in your growth season, your like personal growth season, you know, making your money season, getting your bag season, all that, right? And then somebody just comes into your life or comes back into your life or something happens to where they just really try to throw a wrench in the flow. Do you know what I mean? It's like every time you build that momentum, there's either this one person or a similar situation, or, you know, similar, sometimes it's not the exact person, but a similar energy kind of appears. Let me know if you've experienced that. You know, somebody from your past or somebody just comes in, like almost like to throw you off track, to distract you, or to create that doubt or that uncertainty. Then you start to question things. Have you experienced that? I think I've experienced that. You know, is it me? I've experienced that. And this is something to be mindful of. So when it comes to that flow, and just thinking about the elements, we have fire, right? We have earth, and now we have water. And this is about gauging the amount of water that's coming in, right? Too much water will drown everything out. or make everything muddy. You see what I'm saying? But a little bit ain't too bad, because you could also have people that are coming in, and here's the opportunity, right? Because the intention that you put in, when you start pouring that in, you might also start attracting people and experiences and situations that align with the direction that you're wanting to take. This is also an opportunity for you to seek out people, groups, events that inspire you, that allow you to learn something new, that takes you out of your comfort zone a little bit. So there's an opportunity here. So pay attention to how that shows up, because it's really easy to get something started, and then when you get into that middle, it can get that dip happens. You know what I'm talking about? That's when the peak and then the valley start to just kind of die down a little bit. So depending on, like, pay attention to who's coming in. Is this somebody that's aligning with the direction that you wanted to take, or somebody or a situation or experience that it's like, oh, that pattern's coming back. What's the pattern? What's the loop? Like, here's where the self-doubt starts kicking in. Here's where the bullshit starts coming back. Then that's when you want to let those things go. It's an opportunity to let it go. But if you're bringing new energy in, or people that like, oh, like they're wanting to do the same things that you're doing, or maybe somebody that you knew from back in the day comes back around, and y'all used to do the thing, right? Maybe y'all used to create art together, and that's something that you're really good at and you really enjoy doing it, right? And it's not even about, even if you're good at it, it's something that you enjoy and you have fun doing. It's like, oh man, like that just reminded me, this person just reminded me of all these things that I enjoy doing. Whether it's somebody that physically comes into your life or somebody that you see and it reminds you of that, that is your answer right there. Because I mentioned earlier, like, do you even remember what you enjoy? Do you remember? So there might be some signs coming up in the middle of spring to remind you of what you have forgotten and what you have chosen, like just to push back in the back of your mind and kind of forgot about those things. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of twofold there. Either way, it can work to your advantage, as long as you recognize, like, up, here comes some bullshit. Let me put up the boundaries. Right? And then, this person's reminding me of some things that I want to do, or that's inspiring me. Then yeah, that's what you want to bring more in, right? So it's an opportunity either way, but be mindful of the dip. You don't want too much water coming in, right? You want just enough, right? So you got to know how to gauge the faucet. All right. I hope y'all are enjoying my analogies. All right, we are going into the end of spring. We're going to go into the end of spring, and then I will catch up with y'all in the chat and go into individual readings. All right. And so I already have a list of people. So once again, every once in a while, okay, I have an email list. I don't email y'all often, but when I do, sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this video and you get priority. First few people to respond get priority for a reading. So if you're wanting that opportunity, then definitely go to my bio or description, wherever you're watching, and go to my link tree, and you'll see join my email list, and do that. And you will be notified next time I'll pop up on y'all. Okay. All right. End of spring. Let's go. We have the Eight of Swords. You know what's funny? So Eight of Swords. Look at this card. Look at her. Eight of Swords. Now, what did I tell y'all about the dip? Just to recap, I told y'all when things, you can start off real strong, right? You start off real strong, and then things may or may not start to slow down or get in the way. That's when the distractions start coming in. And now we have the eight of swords. So it's interesting because we have two eights here in this spread today. And swords is air and the mind, air element and the mind. You said just a puddle. Yes, just a puddle. Just sitting in, just sitting in the swamp, just sitting in the puddle, right? If this is about the mind, this is about beliefs as well. I mentioned earlier with the overall theme, which is the Nine of Pentacles, right? About what you are tending to, the work ethic, the things behind the scenes, right? Especially coming out of this Six of Cups, where it's like, what are your beliefs, or what are you, more importantly, or more specifically, what are your limiting beliefs? This is where the doubts, the limiting beliefs will start to show up. But there's an opportunity here. I always like to look at what the opportunity is. You have to be mindful of what's showing up and why it's showing up so you can let that shit go. Because what not to do is to sit in the lack of belief. You don't want to sit in that and stay in that. This is an opportunity to tend to that soil, right? We talked about that. And what did I say earlier? Some of the stuff that you were, some of the seeds and things that you were planting from last year is going to show up this year. It's going to show up in spring. And this is an opportunity for you to pluck it out, remove it, heal through it. Let me say that again, heal through it. So it could be limiting beliefs. It could be trauma. It could be pain. It could be you just stepping into a new level of awareness. Maybe all this time you've just been so disconnected from your body and from just life. And now it's just like, air. I'm waking up. And sometimes you're waking up to the things that make you uncomfortable. And that's okay. Because it's not about the discomfort. It's about how you manage it. What do you need in order to work through it? Because again, remember, work ethic, the intention behind the work. And I mentioned, sometimes it's the inner work. It's the stuff you're doing behind the scenes, not the stuff you're doing for other people. You have to do it for you. And when you pour into yourself, everyone else around you benefits from that. You become the better father, you become the better employee, you become the better business owner, you become the better friend, the better partner, right? You become better in every aspect. But these things, if you've been on autopilot, you're gonna get an awakening. You're gonna get slapped around a little bit, right? And it's an opportunity for you to recognize what is showing up, why it's showing up, and choosing what the intention is going to be. What support do you need? What do you need to heal through, work through, let go? I'm also hearing decluttering, like decluttering the mind. Like you need an outlet. What is your outlet for your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions? How are you expressing that, right? Because it kind of goes back to the first part of spring when I mentioned, like, this is about finding the joy and the ease in the work that you do. And work isn't just about what you're doing at a job or in your business. Things that bring you joy in life. So it's not always about what you do that's connected to money, but it's about what you do that brings you joy. Do you see what I'm saying? It could be recreational. It could be exploratory. You don't have to know exactly what it is yet. It's okay if you don't know, then it's about creating the space to explore, right? And so into this last part of spring, what is the mindset shift that needs to happen? What is the stuff that's been in the way? How are you going to change it? Right? Because what happens after spring? Summer. And when summer comes, like stay tuned for the, at the end of spring when I do the summer solstice readings. That's going to be interesting because a lot of times it's a lot of fire and too much distraction start to come up. But you don't want to lose focus. So there's an opportunity for you to look at the stuff that's been getting in the way and choose to do something different. All right. So let me know, what are your takeaways so far with what I've shared for the collective energy readings. Overall theme is the Nine of Pentacles. This is about what you're bringing in, your work ethic, the intention behind the work that you're doing behind the scenes and within yourself. This is about paying attention to what is already showing up for you, because that stuff that you planted last year is coming up now, right? So that's the overall theme. First part of spring is all about finding the joy and the ease in the work that you do. And this is more so the work that you're doing that's connected to yourself, and finding the fun and the enjoyment, or what's your natural talents, natural abilities that you've just kind of pushed off to the side, or maybe you're not spending as much time doing those things, right? Now's the opportunity to start doing that. And again, this doesn't have to be some everyday thing. Maybe you're just creating time once a month. Maybe it's once a month you are taking time to yourself to just try something new, to do something different, because some of you don't even know what you like, what you enjoy, what you're good at, because you've been so busy doing shit for everybody else and putting yourself on the back burner. Don't do that. Don't do that no more. Okay. And then middle of spring is the Six of Cups. This is where you start to slow down a little bit, that you might, and this is an opportunity to pay attention to the riffraff that's coming in. Okay. Whether that's from people or situations, but then also who's going to be coming in that's going to inspire you and motivate you to get out and do things, or that's going to remind you, oh man, I used to do this back in the day and I love doing that. Like, oh, catch it and take it, right? So that's what's happening here. So be mindful of the dip, where this is where you might want to start slowing down, or this is where people that will often distract you will start to come in. So be mindful of that. And then we have at the end of spring, the Eight of Swords, which is about the mind, the air element. And this is an opportunity to pay attention to what your limiting beliefs are, what your fears are. Is any trauma coming up that you haven't fully dealt with? This is about healing through it. This is about being able to shift your mindset, because now that you know, like, it's about awareness. Once you know what's in the way, then you can decide what you're going to do about it. And you don't have to do it alone. Whatever way you need support, then get that support. Figure that part out. But that's the opportunity here. So let me check the comments here and see what y'all are talking about. And then we're going to start these individual readings. So I already have my lineup. Cece, you are up first. Are you here? Greetings, Jada. I just got in. This is already resonating. Awesome. And for those of you, if you're just tuning in, no worries. You can definitely catch the replay on wherever you're watching this from. And yeah, if you've liked this information and this message so far, be sure to like and share and follow, subscribe, all the things. Let me see. I need to connect with my girls, Joy and Ease. Love that. I received Joy and Ease. Yes. We're excited. Let's play. Absolutely. Stop over consuming and start pouring out. Exactly. Exactly. And I promise you, there's always, because, and I had this limiting belief before of like, oh, well, I have to, I used to be a people pleaser. I did a video. I have a video on my YouTube channel that talks about being a people pleaser and like it's like, yeah, once I learned where that was stemming from, I was like, what am I doing? I need to stop that, right? The more you pour into yourself, the more everybody benefits. That was a huge lesson that I learned years ago, and it's been the best. It's been the best thing. You can't remember what you planted last year. And yeah, and so if you can't remember, and that's fine, right? It's gonna come up. And when it comes up, you gonna remember again. You gonna remember again. It's gonna make sure, because the universe is petty, y'all. The universe is petty. All right, okay. Cece is here. Let's go. Um, do you have a specific question? Or if you have a specific question, I can answer that. Or if you want general, just put general in the chat, and then I'll do general. If you want to, like, if you want general for a specific area, like let's say you want career or relationships or life or spiritual growth or something, then you can put general and then whatever that overall topic is. So those are your options: regular, general, general with the general based on a specific topic or a specific question. So Cece, go ahead and put that in. And once again, if you're just tuning in, I already have the list of the people I'm going to do these readings for. But something to keep in mind is sometimes there's a message for you in it, right? So you might hear a message for somebody else, but there's something that's in there for you. So you can get just as much benefit from listening to someone else's reading, right? So just something to be mindful of. Okay, general. All right, so the first thing I feel led to actually pull, so I have some oracle decks here as well. And I feel led to pull, two, okay. I'm hearing two different oracle decks here. So I think I'm gonna pull two for you. Let's see, or from two different decks, let's see. Let's see. And if any of you have any questions, just in general about anything that I've shared so far for the collective energy readings, or just any general questions for general information, you can put those in the chat too, and I'll get to those. So one of the things that's coming up for you, Cece, is I'm hearing peace of mind, peace of mind, peace of mind. So I'm not sure if you've already found this peace or if you're finding it, or it's time to apply. Well, I'm hearing like applying it in a new way. What I'm hearing is what was peaceful for you then is not going to work for you now. So you can tell me what that means. What was peaceful for you then is not going to work for you now. It's almost like there's this shift going on. I'm seeing movement. I'm seeing like it's interesting. I'm seeing like it's almost like black and white, but it's like a train. And so it's interesting. Let me see. What does this black and white mean? It almost feels like, I don't know if this is something where this is something from the past in the movement and how it's resurfacing, or what is about to resurface, or maybe something in the past that's influencing some potential movement. And so movement can mean a few different things. So with movement, that could mean like a change in direction, or a change in thought, or it could also mean physically moving, or even like how you're moving in your life. So what could that look like for you? Just let me know. Let me know if that's resonating, because it's almost like, so the train is like it's not moving fast though. It's like it's moving and then it's not, and it's moving and it's not. So it's very interesting dynamic between the two, and I keep feeling like this toggle between the past, the past and the future. So it's interesting how this is showing up for you. So let me pull a card and see. And it's and I feel like part of it is like this toggle, and like because the black and white keeps sticking out, right? It's almost like if you stay, it's like there's a part of you that is not wanting, and I don't know if this is conscious for you yet. You let me know, that almost doesn't want it things to move the way they're moving. You're wanting to control it in a way, and you really have to let go of that control. Like, so I don't know if you're conscious of the amount of control you're wanting to have on like how things change or how it goes. It's like, no. You have to start trusting. You have to start trusting. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust your intuition? Do you trust that the things that you're wanting, that it's possible? Do you trust that that's possible? Because part of that's the work. Okay? The work is trusting that. And I feel like there's this part of you that's more connected to the past that keeps wanting to pull you back. Or maybe it's like it's creating doubt that keeps you like, ooh, like, should I do this? It's like almost creating doubt or something. It's like, I don't know. Just continue to be open to how the change can show up. And let me pull this card. We have, ooh, come on now, Valley, fertile new role. So isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? All right. Before I pulled this card, I was talking about like there's this change, right? But there's this toggle between the past and the future. So this kind of makes sense. And it's interesting too, because I was seeing a train and I was kind of getting a view of like sky and mountains. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, so this new role, right? So this toggle makes sense then, because it's almost about identity, a role that you're stepping into, right? Let me look in the comments and see if you're even responding to what I'm saying. Okay, I'm here. Okay, general. Yes, things have been moving and changing for me, and changing for sure. Trusting my gut has been hard lately. Okay, so yeah, so that's one of the things, right? So that's the toggle right there. There is a part of you, and that's connected to your past self, right? That wants to stay there. There's fear there, and that's the toggle. So, excuse me. So you mentioned like trusting your gut has been hard. So with that, it's almost like what happened in your past. And by past, I'm not necessarily, this is not only relevant to your past in this lifetime. I'm talking about like past lifetimes as well, like other timelines and things like that. Like that's how deep it goes. So whatever's getting in the way of you trusting, that thing is connected to your like previous lifetimes. I don't know if you're into past lives, but it's a thing, and it's definitely something that is playing a role in this toggle of past self, future self. But if you have been tuning in to the overall message and the theme for spring, then this is going to be a great opportunity for you to navigate that, because it's time for you to step into a new role. And one of the hardest things can be stepping into an identity shift, right? Who you believe you are, and what you're growing into, because we're always evolving and growing and changing. Our roles in life are and our identity that changes. It expands. You become more of who you are the more that you trust your intuition, the more that you go within, right? The more that you believe these things. So just start to recognize, and you can just start asking yourself, like, why am I not trusting myself? Or why am I not trusting my intuition? Why am I not trusting my gut? Like, why is that? What is that about? Just start asking that. But right now, I'm telling you, it's like there's fear connected to that, and it's connected to your past lives, and because yeah, you're changing identities, and that shift. So it's interesting, right? Because when fear stuff comes up from a past life, it's a lot of times it's about survival. There's this past aspect of yourself, which is really just a thought at this point, right? It's a thought and an energy connected to it, and that wants to stay. It feels like it's going to it wants to survive, right? So it's like the survival mechanism that we have that keeps us in that back and forth or prevents us from kind of moving forward faster. So you have to just work through that. And yeah, and great things are going to happen. Great things are going to happen. And keep in mind, so disclaimer, great things can also mean you're going to be dragged for filth and right, emotionally and mentally. I don't want to scare you, but this is just, I like to give practical, real, the practical and the real, right? You might go through a full like dragathon, okay, mentally and emotionally. But when you come out of that, it's going to be very liberating. So I'm excited for you. It's one of the best things. You're gonna go through the gauntlet, okay? You are, but it's gonna be the best thing. It's gonna be the best thing, okay? Listen, I get dragged all the time. It's like once you learn to accept that, like the gauntlet that you're gonna go through, oh, it's gonna be beautiful on the other side. You're gonna be good. So I hope that was helpful. It definitely resonates. Okay, cool. Good stuff. I'm telling you, listen, all the time. I be out here. And when you learn, like that's part of the growth journey. Growth is not linear and growth is not easy. Okay. So listen, if you don't want to hear the truth, then don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Go listen to somebody else that wants to paint things all butterflies and like cotton candy and all that. I ain't doing that. Because I've been through it many, many, many times. Okay. Oh, I swear I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Because it's just the real thing. Okay. Lyric, you are up next. We have Lyric. We have and then after Lyric will be Jennifer, and then if I have time, then after Jennifer, then I will get one more if Anastasia is here. You are welcome. All right. Lyric, are you here? Let me know if you're here, and let me know if you want a general or if you have a specific question. You can write that out. Okay, you're here. Great. Yeah, so let me know, do you have a specific question or do you want something general? Good, Anastasia is here and Jennifer's here. Cool. So let me know your question or if you just want general, Lyric. Let me know. And also let me know, for those of you that are tuning in and listening to that, who did you get something out of that? Was there something in it for you in that message that I provided for Cece? Let me know. Can we get the person's zodiac sign to see if we're in the same collective? Cece's zodiac sign is a Leo. So yeah, Leo, fire. That's her sign. And something to keep in mind is so with the zodiac signs, like the element, right? So if you don't feel connected to Leo specifically, it might be the element of fire. And that might be something that's really strong within your birth chart. And maybe that could be the thing as well. Or sometimes it's like if it's maybe you're not a fire sign, but you're a you know how you have mutable signs, cardinal signs. So maybe it's the positioning of where they're at within that as well. So that's just an added layer when it comes to that collective space. So it might not only be the zodiac specifically; it could be element related, or where they're at in if they're cardinal, mutable, or I can't think of the other ones right now. What are the other ones? I can't think of them right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Cardinal sign, mutable sign. I can't think of the fixed sign, right? So that could be the thing too. And then also, it's not just sun related. It could be sun sign, moon sign, or your rising. So all the things. Okay. Lyric. General. Okay. Am I draining myself or am I being the same? One and the same, but let's just see what the cards say. Okay. Am I draining myself or am I being the same? Or am I being okay. Or am I being drained? So I think that's the question. Am I draining myself or am I being drained? Okay, this one's for you. Oh, no, tarot for you. Okay. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me get they want tarot for you. It's interesting. So one of the words I'm hearing is grow, 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 grow. Where are you growing? And is what you're growing, how is it growing? Is it mold? Is it growing into a tree or a flower? Right? What is growing? Something's growing. We just got to know what it is, right? Ooh, we got a jumper. Strength. Now, this is great because it's when it comes to this draining or being drained, are we talking about consciously choosing the things, the situations, the people that just only want to take from your energy, that only want to take from you, that only want these things, want things from you, and only just want to use you and not pour into you? So what are the things that you're consciously aware of and how that's happening? Because that will direct you to the unconscious parts. And what I'm hearing is it's usually like, what's the limiting belief? Or what's the boundary that you're not putting up for yourself to recognize what that looks like? Or to even prevent it? Because sometimes it's like, well, if you're draining, do you feel drained? How is it showing up? Because I feel like there's a part of you that actually knows the truth. It's about confirming whether it's real or not even wanting to address it fully. And you're stronger than you believe you are. And it's interesting because some inner child stuff is coming up. I'm seeing a you, like little version of you, young you. Like the numbers I'm seeing is like 7, 8, 9. I don't know. Was there anything, if there was anything significant that showed up for you in that age range, 7, 8, 9 years old? That's what's coming up, and so I'm feeling like there's a connection there. But you are, and maybe that version of you needs to hear that, but that you're stronger than you believe you are. And other people know that and will take advantage of that if you let them. So the opportunity is for you to start connecting the dots between what that draining feels like in the physical realm, like how you recognize it, and where that is unconsciously within you. Let me look here. I don't remember my childhood, so that's interesting. So this is where some, if you choose to go there, to do some meditative work, some inner work, some inner connection work. So if you're into meditating, journaling, and just connecting to that energy, right? That's where you can start connecting the dots, and you'll start getting some feedback from that. But that's where I'm seeing the connection. But it goes back to, well, what's growing in your life? What is showing up? And is it showing up the way that you're wanting it to? Right? So a thing could be growing and it's like there's all this energy pouring into it. It could be, you're not getting enough sleep? Why are you not getting enough sleep? Why are you always tired? Is it something, are you always tired because you're not getting enough sleep? Are you always tired because of what is the thing? So it's really about backtracking. And I say that because there is, it's almost like I see like there's these dots, and it's about just you connecting the dots. And that's the important part here. Because you're going to get signs of how this, like, of how it shows up, if it's showing up. So this strength card is about empowerment and choice. Is it a person? Is it a place? And this goes back to the draining. Is it when you're around certain people, do you feel drained? If so, then that's an indicator, right? That's how you connect it back. Is it when you're in certain places and you feel drained? And feeling drained doesn't necessarily have to be feeling exhausted. It could be feeling tired. It could be feeling like you just lose motivation. You feel stagnant, right? So it can show up in a few different ways. But now's the time to start like just paying attention to how and where it's showing up. And to remember that you are stronger than you believe you are. And it's time to do like this strength connection and this empowerment, like that aspect of the you and your the 7, 8, 9, that younger self. This is where the root of it is for you. So let me know if this is resonating, if you have any questions or like some clarification on what's coming up. And I'm seeing you doing like meditative journaling. So I don't know, is this something that you already do? If it is, then you can do this connecting to your younger self. And if you don't do that, then this would be something I would suggest. And you might not get like exact memories back from your childhood in this timeline, but it's picking up on the feelings, like the emotions and the energy connected to that time in your life. And just like I mentioned in the previous reading, when it comes to your past self, is not always like, sometimes it is connected to previous lifetimes, right? It's like, at least how it shows up for me when I'm doing readings for people and stuff. We have unfinished business from our past lives, and that can show up It shows up in this lifetime. And so that time in your life from 7, 8, 9 years old was very significant to some of those experiences. So let's see. Yes, I love that card, and it's people like what you mentioned earlier. They pop right up. They pop up right when my energy is on 10. Yep, because they are vultures. Okay, and it's time to. You see this lion? You see this lion? Okay, it's time to cut them off. Do you see what I'm saying? She says, yeah, I always jump lifetimes when I'm trying to go to my childhood. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I would highly suggest doing the meditative journaling. You can do one for each age, right? For 7, for 8, and then for 9. But yeah, because you're not only on this timeline. Right, and it's all connected. It's all connected. But those were some significant, at least what I'm seeing is very significant points, energetically for you that cross over in other timelines, and in past lifetimes, and even in future timelines. So yeah, and then yeah, send me some updates. Send me a DM or something. Whenever you do the work, like start that meditative journaling, and I would love an update on what comes up for you with that. So, all right. Let's see. Jennifer, you are next. And also, Lyric, just I'm hearing, so with the work, right? You want to make sure you cleanse and clear the space, protect that space. Yeah, and because it's time to cut the vultures off. So, because I mentioned, do you know how, like, you don't realize how powerful you are, right? And there's people around you that do, and that's a dangerous place to be. When people recognize how powerful you are and you don't yet, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there before too. Okay. Listen, the things I'll be telling you is because I lived it too, man. Listen, I am telling you, that is real. So definitely be protective of your space. And I definitely feel like that when you start to connect to that, you're going to reignite that belief in yourself, recognizing your own power. Yeah. And it's more so like you have power, you have it, but the belief is kind of, I don't know, it's a little wishy-washy. And you're way more powerful. You think you're powerful now? No, you ain't even, you're really like, like the iceberg, you're not even on the part of the iceberg that's like where the top of the iceberg meets the water. Like, you're on the very top of the iceberg. Okay. There's so much you haven't even tapped into yet. Like, you think, nah. For the record. All right, Jennifer, General. Okay. Oh, I'm hearing a different deck for you. Let's see. I'll do this Oracle deck. Let's see. For General. I'm hearing womb healing for you, Jennifer. Womb healing. I'm also seeing, I'm seeing corn. So, but I'm seeing this as like offerings. Like you're offering, like this is an offering to your ancestors, to your guides. I'm seeing corn. I'm seeing like fruits and stuff like that, but specifically corn. So I don't know how that resonates with you, but or even if you do any, if you're into that, if you're into connecting and honoring ancestors and guides and things like that. But that's what's coming up, especially specifically when it comes to this womb work. And the energies and the ancestors and your spirit guides, insert whatever word of whatever you're into, okay? When you start, if you choose to do the womb work, those you will recognize that they will make themselves known of like who is going to support you in that healing when it comes to your spirit team, and your ancestors and things like that. But this exchange of corn, they keep showing me the corn, and I don't know if there's something else. I don't know if you like corn, or whatever, but I'm seeing like corn as an offering, and like some coconut water is also coming up. So yeah, if you're into like altar work, having some of this when it comes to doing some, even just creating like a sacred space to do a womb work and a womb healing in. And this is about, this is about healing for you. This is about healing. This is also about rejuvenation too. And also with the coconut water, I'm seeing you drink the coconut water. I don't know, do you like coconut water? If you don't like coconut water, a way that you can incorporate it, and also if you're not allergic to it, you can add it into smoothies and things like that if you don't enjoy like the flavor of it. But that's what I'm saying is going to be very helpful for you. And also as you continue to do this womb healing work, you will start to tap into other fruits and vegetables and things like that to consume, to nourish this energy center, and to nourish this, because it's not just about the physical aspect of the womb. Because when I say womb, at least for me, this is me, okay, womb, how it shows up is womb is like, that's part of, the energetic part of the womb, right? You have the physical part, which is the uterus, okay, then you have the womb, which is all encompassing of the physicality, right, the physical body, but then also the energetic aspects of what that represents, of that portal. And that is where you're housing a lot of things that need to be released. But it's almost like you're ready to do the work, like you're ready now. You're ready. You are ready. You're ready to just let it go. I see it's not gonna, I see you crying a lot. So I mentioned in an earlier reading, listen, healing and growing, you're going through the gauntlet. It's going to go through the gauntlet, but this is going to be it's like a weight is going to be released, because it's almost like I see a giant boulder in your womb right now. Like that's what it looks like right now, and it might feel that way because it's like it's the energy and the emotions and all this other stuff in there, right? So so there's an opportunity for you to do that, or maybe you've already started doing that and this is just confirmation for you to continue to do the healing work, but now it's kind of like just bump it up a notch. It's time for you to get your spirit team together. It's time for you to set up your sacred space and connect with your ancestors and your guides if you haven't been doing that. Your ancestors, wow, you don't be talking to your ancestors? Because they want to talk to you. They do. They want to be there for you. It's almost like, I don't know if you just forgot that they're around, or if you're not into it, or if it feels new. But now's the time. Now is the time. Let me pull a card. I'm just over here. Let me pull a card. But there's something with you in corn. With offerings and maybe even consuming it as well in the coconut water. Mother Mary, unconditional love and faith. What's really sticking out to me is, so there's a couple things, right? And this doesn't matter, this is an inclusive space for all forms of belief systems and whatever you're into, okay? This aspect of the mother, and wasn't I just talking about the womb? Okay, and like what she represents, even if you're not into Abrahamic religions and stuff like that, because I'm not, right? But we have to look at, what does this represent? The mother represents the womb. And what is this that story of Mary? If you know, so if you're familiar with that, just think about how that connects to this aspect of womb healing. The other thing that's really sticking out is the 24. That's the number of this oracle deck. And this oracle deck for my fellow tarot and oracle readers and enthusiasts, this is the Sacred Mother and Goddesses deck. Love this deck. The 2 and the 4, and specifically how I'm seeing it is the second chakra or energy center. The second one is sacral, and that is where womb energy is housed in that energy center. And then the 4 is the heart space. And a lot of times what I tend to see when I'm doing like energy work for people and stuff like that, or even when I'm doing readings, there's usually a connection between the sacral and the heart. If something's going on with your womb space or your that second energy center, right? Because you don't have to have a uterus to have a womb, right? Because we're talking about the energetic aspect of the womb, right? So again, we're talking about this energetically, spiritually, okay? There's a connection there. And you have barriers, you have blockages in your heart space. And when you do the womb work, it's going to release that blockage. Okay. So the other thing that's coming up is that really sticks out is the yellow, because I kept seeing this corn and then this violet, deep like purple. When it comes to like that's such a healing frequency, that color. So those two and very high vibrational. So that really stuck out to me for this card. But it says unconditional love and faith. And faith is about belief. Do you believe that you can love yourself? Do you believe that you can experience not only self-love, but receiving love and giving love in a way that is balanced? These two things with the heart and the sacral require that balance. And if one is out of order, like they're both going to be affected. Let's see. I cleaned my room today. Still lots of decluttering. I haven't connected with my ancestors. Sorry, ancestors. Sometimes I feel like I'm out here by myself. Yeah, and they out here low-key kind of cussing you out a little bit. They looking at me and I'm looking at them. And I'm like, so I'm telling you, because they like, we here for you. They over here like, you just gonna leave? Like, we out here. We are here for you. Okay. They're kind of in their feelings a little bit. And they looking at me crazy. So I look at you crazy. Okay. I am just the messenger. And so yeah, so just this is an opportunity, right? You are not out here by yourself. And that goes back to the self-love, right? And the faith, right? In this card, unconditional love and faith. Unconditional love exists for you already, but you don't know how to receive it yet. Because I've been talking a lot about the womb and the energy and the spiritual aspect of the womb. If you only focus on what unconditional love looks like in the physical realm, like that's the last place that it shows up. You're starting at the end. The beginning of that process starts in the energetic and spiritual realms. So now you're at a point in your life where you're like reverse engineering. You're changing it around, because like you were doing all the physical stuff, like physical, representations and ideas of what that should look like. But no, now it's time to actually go deeper into that and go back to where you're supposed to start, which is which is before the physical realm. The physical realm, it's slow and dense here, like that's the whole thing. And your ancestors is like, girl, she says, I'm ready. I want to connect. I want to do the work. I have been in a dark space and trying to get out of it. Yeah, and here you go. Do you see this? Do you see this light around her? And if you have amethyst, if you have some amethyst, I would highly recommend connecting with that, because, and specifically with the amethyst, you know, there is this that vibration. So I talked about that earlier, right? Because the connection and healing that you need is spiritual and energetic, and if you're into crystals and stones, that could be very beneficial for you. So yeah, how do you connect? So start with creating the sacred space, because that's what was shown to me first. Because once you actually create the space because for you, it's important to experience things in the physical first, right? So you need that you need that correlation in the physical realm. And so creating the sacred space first is where I would recommend you start. When it comes to how you do that, you use your intuition to do that. Like, well, what would feel good in this space? Because then your ancestors are going to start connecting with you then. It's like, oh, okay, she's ready. Once you have the space, then you start getting the things, right? The corn, whether it's an ear of corn or something, like I keep seeing this corn, the coconut water and stuff like that. Then you can make these offerings and things like that. You don't have to do that right away. Start with the sacred space, get comfortable with that, and then go from there. So you don't have to do this all in one day, but then you might want to, right? And if you were here for when I share the overall theme, and we talked about that, apply the different things that I talked about in the collective energy reading. Apply that, because this still applies to work ethic and the things behind the scenes and the intentions that you're putting into it, right? You have to put intention into healing. You have to put intention into manifestation. You have to put intention into letting shit go, right? All those things are applicable. Oh, yes, it's on your desk. Okay, cool. Moving my desk and plants downstairs to create the altar sacred space. Awesome. That is great. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Anastasia, are you here? I am past my hour mark. I am honestly surprised I have not gotten kicked off of Instagram yet. Don't they have like a it used to be like you could only be live for 1 hour or something. Okay, Anastasia, I'm gonna do yours because I'm like in a zone right now. And Anastasia is going to be the last person that I read for. And again, if you are interested, every once in a while, right? I have an email list. Sign up for my email list. Click the link in wherever you're watching this, the link in my bio, you'll see the link on my link tree that says join my email list. Because every once in a while, when I decide I want to do a live stream or whatever, I will send an email out to my list sometimes, and I prioritize them for individual readings. Okay. So that is what I like to do. So do that if you're interested in possibly getting selected for an individual reading. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Anastasia, please let me know what type of, if you want a general or specific question. And for those of you that are still here, first, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your time and us sharing this space. That really means a lot to me. And let me know, did you get something? Have you been getting something out of these readings? Because one of the things I always say is just because someone else is getting the reading, that doesn't mean that there isn't something in it for you as well. So just being a spectator and listening and sharing this space, you can also get something from it, sometimes even more so. So I hope that was helpful. And if you're liking everything so far, be sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, my Facebook business page. And y'all, I have not, usually I only do my collective energy readings on my YouTube. So this is my first time multi-streaming my collective energy readings. I've never done it on Instagram before or my Facebook. I think maybe I used to do it on my Facebook business page, but I had to take a break from Facebook because they wouldn't allow me to go live for like a long time. It was so weird. So this will be the last reading. And yeah, let's see. Specific question, please. Do I need to write it here? Yes, please. Yeah, write your question in the comments. Greetings, Samari. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for popping in to say hi. Pisces Baby said the reading towards the Strength card. Drama Mama Bookshop. I love that name. Intention is the word for me this week. I love that. Let's see. Michael says letting go and getting through. Yes, love that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. What will help me get to a profitable quarter? Ooh. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm hearing Oracle deck. Ooh, the first thing I'm hearing patience and process. Wait, patience, process, and pursuing consistently. Patience, process, and pursuing consistently. Patience, process, pursuing consistently. So what does that even mean, right? So let's see how they're breaking this down for you. Yeah, you got your listen, the ancestors coming in today, I see. Yeah, I'm seeing some of your guides are kind of showing up here, and a woman, I don't know if this is like a she feels like maybe an aunt or a great aunt or something that's coming up here. Who she's just like around you. She like provides. She's wearing this fabulous hat. She's wearing this fabulous hat. I don't know if you're into ancestors and stuff. She is wearing this fabulous hat. Like who is this? Who is this? Yeah, she is like dressed to the nine. She has this hat on and this dress and these gloves, and she is just like regal. Who is this? Okay. Oh, she's the one telling me patience, process, and pursuing with consistency. So patience. What you do now. Oh, you had an aunt like that. She was fabulous and super supportive. Yeah, well, she is here. She is here right now. I love that. Oh, you are funny, right out of my coach's mouth. Your coach says that too. Yeah. The thing is, part of a profitable quarter for you is actually finding and pursuing the process. Profit, you might not want to hear this right now. Profit isn't just about the money. It's about like the systems and the way that you what you have in place to generate, right? To generate the income, to generate the money. Because what I'm seeing, and so she's showing me, right? It's like you can want it all day, and again, the train is coming back. The train is coming back, and it's like you can want all this traffic coming in, but then I see that it's part of the rail system is actually not built out yet. It's not built strong enough yet. And so then it's like then you fall short. So that's where pursuing with consistency is coming in. Because if you don't have something that's working now, and maybe you do you have something that's working now? In what ways is it working? In what ways is it not working? Right? So this is where the patience comes in. Is you have to actually look at it. You have to look at it. Let me see. So true. The foundation is still in the process of build out. Yeah. So this is where the patience comes in, and this is where you can really get into it. So going back to the collective reading I talked about in the first part of spring is about like finding the joy. Where can you find the joy in this process of the build out and the numbers? This is a really good time to get curious. This is a really good time to start connecting with, like, do you even understand your ideal audience? Do you communicate with them? Are you getting feedback? Are you testing? Do you see what I'm saying? This is a great time to do that. Okay. And this is where the patience is going to come in, because through this, because one of the things I'm hearing is the messaging and the connection to the people that you want to support. Like, do you know their messaging, or are you assuming their messaging? Are you connecting with them, and are you not? Right? Are you sure that you're talking to the right people? What does that look like? Right? So these are the things to be curious about. And so the patience is being curious about the process, getting excited about that, and then going into the process is what in your process is not working, but it's the connection, the empathy, and like communicating, connection, empathy, and communication. And that's something you can do now. You don't need the prophet to come in to do now. As a matter of fact, this is the best time to do it when there is nothing on the table just yet. You see what I'm saying? This is the best time to do that. Because if you don't have the connection, if you don't have the empathy, if you don't have the communication, then there's not going to be any trust that happens. Those are all significant parts of the process. The process isn't just about the behind the scenes, right? The audience and the people that you're wanting to support are vital in that. Here we go. And we got the storm, resolving conflicts. So with this, that is about resolving the conflicts that are in the process right now. It's time to go back and do the research. And the research is connecting and communicating and finding that empathy. Because what you think you want, how you think you want to serve versus what they actually want from you and need from you can be two very different things. I've been there before too. I have been there before. I put offers together thinking they want this, and they did not want that at all. They wanted something totally different. I'm like, oh shit. How'd I miss that? Because I'm thinking what, like, oh, this must be what they want. No. They wanted something else. Like, I was like 4 steps ahead, and I should have been on step 1. They wanted step 1, and I'm trying to offer step 4, and I'm like, oh shit. Let me dial this back. So this is an opportunity for you to resolve the conflicts, the barriers, get curious about your audience and the people that and audience doesn't even feel like a good word, about your community. Who do you want to serve? How do they need to be served? Right? That's the thing. It's not about audience, it's about community. So, and I almost feel like you are thinking of it as audience and like this whole production. It's really about, no, it's grounding into building your community. And that's something you can start doing now. So let me see. Oh, you are too on point. I'm sending my list a direct request this week to learn more about them. Yes, yes. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So in the same way, like I'm here on a live stream, doing live streams or, connecting with them individually, just building that connection, building that community. So for you, it's less about audience. You want to be less audience, more community. That's what you want. So patience, process, and then pursuing consistently. Because once you get that stuff, then you can know how to pursue that consistently. And listen, shout out to your ancestor over here, your aunt, who, and she's the one here with you, right? And connecting with you and because she came right on up with that question. So she's definitely supporting you in this. So again, I don't know if you're into like working with your ancestors or connecting with them, but every once in a while, even if you just say thank you to her or just be like, hey, she is there. And yeah, she really is fabulous. Okay. She is fabulous. So yeah, I hope that resonated. And yeah, how are y'all feeling about everything we have? For those of y'all that have been here from the beginning and y'all are still here, thank you. Thank you. I truly appreciate you. I don't do these often. But this is something I just truly love to do, right? I love doing this. I love doing this. And I really appreciate those of you that trust in the work that I do and that take these messages and are inspired to apply that in whatever way you see fit. So this has been a pleasure. I hope you have some great tools and takeaways for the upcoming spring season. Spring Equinox is less than a week away. So if this resonated with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I will probably post an edited video of this, or at least post the timestamps. I'll do that later this week in case you want to jump back and refer to some earlier parts of the reading, especially like for the collective messages. So it's a bit more organized. So I'll definitely do that this week. And other than that, I will see y'all on the next one.